So one day, I think it was February of 2023, I just happened to be on either social media, YouTube, or something like that, and I saw something that said, hold up, wait a minute, pump the brakes, what the hell just happened? Okay, so we went through in the last episode talking about celebrity opportunities and stuff like that. You mentioned Regina King, which we had really good dialogue going on with her team. Unfortunately, she had something horrific happen in her life.
She had, a family thing that happened in her life, and so all talks stopped at that point, but we understood because it was major and it was so devastating. So and these videos are just giving our experience. They are not bashing or anything that.
No.
This is just us giving our experience and just the things that we've been working on in the background that you may not know about,
because we don't share this stuff.
We don't share it all the time, but we just don't want anybody to think we're bashing or anything. We're just giving our experience and what we've done in these business, in the business.
Sometimes in life, in business, things just don't align.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So, I don't know who it was. It was like our virtual assistant, or if it was Heather. I think it was our virtual assistant that reached out because we were talking about possibilities with a celebrity, and I think our assistant did the research and found who to contact for Regina Hall.
Yes.
And we have always been tremendous fans of Regina Hall. And
both Reginas though.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, we just thought, okay, what about this? The checking the boxes. Do they drink? Check. Are they cool? Their persona? Do they get a lot of industry talk that they're a-holes or something like that? So, so she's respected. And then doing other things, not really just concentrating or focusing on one thing. And what we mean by that is production companies. Maybe they have their own production company. Maybe they're doing something else. A philanthropist, community, all of that stuff. So that's the boxes that starts to be checked. So our virtual assistant reached out, and lo and behold, I don't know how long it was, because we do have all the email chains.
I know. I was just looking, and we literally started this at the end around this time in 2022.
Okay, so
beginning of November.
Okay.
2022 is when we started.
Got it.
Talking to the team.
Okay.
And then it went through 2023, actually the beginning.
Yeah, it was going on, but we understand, because once you get into the holiday season, it gets kind of tricky. But there was great dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of emails going back and forth. Our attorney was on it, I think.
Heather was on that as well. So we had started getting into that piece because of course, first it is reaching out to the team. So our virtual assistant reached out to the team. If there's some sort of interest, they will respond back. They did respond back. And then we got into, trying to have a conversation. I think we did meet at that point in time, like a Zoom or something.
Yeah, we did
with the team, or a call. We did
a call.
A call or something. And then we send out samples. And so we did send out samples and things like that. And then usually if there's an interest after receiving the samples, then that's when we start doing a contract or agreement. And that's when the attorneys come in.
Exactly. So we did send samples.
Yep.
Do we know if she got them?
We know the team got them.
The team definitely got them.
We know the team got them.
But we don't know if
we never know.
Regina Hall actually tried the tequila.
Yeah, we never found that out.
So then as talks just like during the holidays started to just be right here. It didn't go up, it didn't go down. It was just in limbo, so to speak. Finally, we had to put, the pedal to the metal and say, okay, here's the deal. Are you really interested? And then I specifically remember another email coming back, basically like what we're looking for. And I'm thinking, we just had conversations, we have emails, all these different things. Like, what is going on? So at that moment, we didn't feel that we were being respected. And that's
taken seriously. Yeah.
And that's when things just really, really started to change. And so I think we got in another phone call.
We did. And there was I think there was some confusion with the team though too, because what we've realized as well when trying to work with celebrity teams, it depends on the celebrity as to whether they have experience in some areas, like the liquor area. Maybe they just have for acting or something like that. But there are some nuances to being involved with the liquor brand. So sometimes we feel that they may not know all the information. And that's kind of what happened, I think.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of breakdown in their knowledge and then what we were trying to explain, but I think we did I think every time we did a really good job at explaining what this actually would look like. It's not transactional. We're not trying to have a brand ambassador. We want a partner.
Yes.
We want somebody that wants to help take a company from here.
Right.
See, it's off the camera.
Yeah.
See, it's way up there.
Right.
And that's where the money can be made, all these different things. But when it's transactional, like we have had a lot of transactional reach out to us.
Yes.
Those names I'm not going to say.
No.
But with that, they'll reach out and they want, X amount of money up front to flash it multiple times a year on their social media. And we're like, no, that's really not what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody that comes in as an owner, has some equity, brings capital, or has the ability to bring in more capital and truly helps us, not in a day-to-day, sense, but here and there to open some doors that maybe we can't open.
Absolutely. That's all we really want. We want a partnership with someone who, fits our vibe, but also has passion about the story, the tequila, and just making something, out there.
Absolutely.
So that's something that we are looking for. But I think because we did have Heather involved with their people, and she knows exactly what we were looking for. But again, we feel that sometimes some teams do not understand all the nuances of our agreements that we're trying to do.
No. So to Regina Hall and what happened with this possible opportunity that her team and us and our team basically we're talking about. New Year comes. So this is now 2023.
Right.
And I think holidays have passed, so let's start these conversations rolling again. Let's get some traction. Let's make some things happen. And so I think it was mid-January, maybe something like that. And it was, let's reconnect. And I don't know what happened after that.
I can't remember. I think it was just kind of
the same thing.
Ghosting though too. Because what do we end up finding? Now what we ended up finding, because I think either ghosted or it was kind of like one of those, we're still reviewing or something like that.
Yeah, it was very vague, and so we're like, something isn't right here.
Something's going on, and we're not getting the full story.
And we definitely, with this one, we were not getting the full story. So started in November 2022, talking to Regina Hall's team and going through the holidays, and then we're going into the first of the year, 2023, and we're not getting any momentum. The talks are, it feels like in a way we were being led on.
That, and they just really kind of started pulling back. So, because in the beginning it was, great response and things like that. And then when you start noticing that there's not that response anymore, you're like, what's going on?
One day, I think it was February of 2023. I just happened to be on either social media, YouTube, or something like that. And I saw something that said, hold up, wait a minute, pump the brakes, what the hell just happened? And I called my wife in, I go, you gotta see this crap. I'm trying to not swear as much as I used to. So, what the hell is this crap that I just found? And I showed it. I was able to find it on YouTube, and what was it?
Well, it seemed that Regina Hall's team was not very forthcoming about what she was doing, because she was actually in
An advertisement
for a liquor brand.
Yeah. For an Irish whiskey.
You should have just told us that.
And yeah, tell us this, because then it would have been, we would have understood and not wasted time. And let me explain. These things just don't come together overnight.
No.
That was being worked on for quite a while. So it was an Irish whiskey that is extremely popular, and St. Patrick's Day. So they started doing these ads in February for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And, we felt misled. We felt, disrespected to a certain degree.
Yeah, because
Just be honest.
my thing is, if she was already working on something, and I don't know how long that went on, but just be honest about it. If you would have told us, we would have been like, oh, okay, so she's already kind of doing something. We could have pulled all of that back, and we would have had these talks and Zooms and stuff like that, and have our attorney involved for nothing.
You don't want to waste your time. That's a big thing. We don't want to waste anybody's time. Ours, somebody else's, teams, all of that stuff. It doesn't make sense. So with that, obviously it was done at that point. We did point it out to them that we saw these commercials, and just to let them know, you could have been honorable. You could have been honest and said, you know what? We're right now pursuing something else that is clearly transactional. There was no way this huge Irish whiskey brand was giving any equity. They don't operate like that. Basically, it's like, here's 50 grand, here's 100 grand.
Here's 200 grand.
Yeah, and we want you to do some ads for us, and that's about it. So that was completely transactional. Compared to if you have equity and you have ownership, you get residuals, you get all kinds of different things. And then when it sells like Ryan Reynolds did or George Clooney did for hundreds of millions, upwards of $1 billion, you make a lot more than that transactional element.
Well, and that's the thing. Be honest. If that person,
Sure.
and this is a thread through all of the celebrities that we've had encounters with, be honest. If they don't want to be involved in a brand and be a part of the company and the vision and all of that, say that. If they just want to be a brand ambassador and just, hey, give you 50 grand, 200,000 to post or whatever and talk about it for a year, then say that.
Sure.
Because then we will be like, okay, that's not what we're looking for. We are looking more for a partner. We're not looking for a brand ambassador. We're not looking to have a transactional agreement. We want something more. Just say that. Then everybody's time, the teams, our team, our attorneys, their attorneys, all of these people, we don't have to waste that type of time.
And we move on to the next.
That's, I think, has been our crux of it, is that none of these teams have been honest. Like, if your client is looking for money, just tell us that.
And that was a recent.
Yes.
We were talking to somebody on a TV show.
Tell us that.
Up front, that everything was perfect, and then the attorneys get involved, and it's like, oh, but you should be getting money. That is not how business works.
No, but also tell us up front. Let us know that we don't have to do all of these calls, all of these Zooms,
Right.
all of these agreements. Spending time with our attorneys and all of this to come up with these agreements for you to say, oh, well, yeah, all this is good in agreement, but we want money. You should have said that in the beginning.
And here's the business tip. Why will attorneys push to have money given to their client? You want to tell them or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Because they get a percentage. So if you give them 5% equity and no upfront transactional money, like an endorsement fee or whatever like that, the attorneys make nothing on their end.
Yeah, and I get it. I get it. I get it. That's their side, because we also as business owners have to look at the whole picture. So I do get their side of that, but they have to get our side as well. And so I think it's just always us looking, and one day we'll find that partner that is looking for the same thing that we are looking for.
Yeah, we've had some attorneys kill some really solid deals that would have helped boost up platforms for some, people that are in the public eye, but maybe they're not Beyonce status. Maybe they're not,
Nobody's
Rihanna.
Beyonce.
What's that?
Nobody's Beyonce.
True. So, but that's what it is they get a percentage. They will not get a percentage of the equity. So it's one of those things that the attorneys and their teams, they push for transactional money. They push for like an endorsement fee or a brand ambassador fee, where that's risky. That does not necessarily mean that it's going to amplify the brand's visibility, the brand's reach. And we've seen this. We have many instances where, a couple of posts and it's not moving the needle when it comes to a particular brand, not just liquor, anything.
Yeah, but my whole thing again is always just be upfront. If that's what your client is looking for, it is room for everybody in whatever you're doing, but be honest about it. If they're looking for money, cool. We will go elsewhere because we will find, that partner that will be vibing with us.
Or they'll find us.
Or they'll find us. So, my whole thing is just my frustration is just we're wasting everybody's time when you're not upfront.
So, last tidbit of information. Again, nothing is ever going to go the way that you think it will go,
Nope.
the way that you strategically plan it to go, or the way that you hope that it'll go. However, as long as you get something from it, whether it be, an amazing attorney that we got, or some knowledge, just some insight to the industry, that's still a win. That really is something that is going to benefit you in the future.
Absolutely.
And just because one deal goes sour, it doesn't sour every other deal.
No.
So stay positive, stay focused, things will happen, and trust your gut instinct.
Always.